Guys, what's happening? It's Rob Zappa. First YouTube video ever on my channel here, and I just want to take a few minutes to kind of introduce myself and let people know who I am and what situation I'm in. So I used to be a family doctor up here in, well, I'm in Winnipeg right now, but in Selkirk, Manitoba in Canada, small town north of Winnipeg, which is the main city in Manitoba. And I ended up, after practicing for about 14 years, getting really, really burned out and actually losing my medical license because of a few bad decisions that I made. So don't make bad decisions. And ended up having some issues with narcotics and whatnot. So yeah, so I have been trying since basically June of 2020 to do something online because I had to take a voluntary suspension at that time. And then as of March of 2022, I actually officially lost the license. So yeah, it was kind of, I mean, that's what I trained for my whole life. And that's what I assumed I would do for the rest of my life. But we work in a broken system. And I know that a lot of my colleagues have similar issues to myself, but I really let it get to me, unfortunately. So what I decided back in June of 2020, when I first did lose my license, for a health suspension, and so I had to navigate and sort of rethink everything that I wanted to do. I decided that going online and doing something online was the best thing that I could think of. I assumed because I had been a doctor before that, I would do something probably health related, maybe like weight loss or something like that, because that's not a crowded topic. And, I mean, there's always room for new takes on it, but anyways, is what it is. That's my thought process. So I did a lot of research on that, and then that led me to basically just not knowing exactly where to go with that. And I mean, even if I, had um, decided that weight loss was the best thing to do, I really didn't know how to get it online. So I ended up having that whole thing kind of interrupted because I went away to inpatient rehab for the narcotic use. And after that, ended up coming back, and then I started buying programs. Now, I don't know if any of you people out there have the same disease I do, but I have buying program-itis, buying coaching-itis, and yeah, it really sucks because it drained a lot of cash away from, I had worked basically for 14 years, like 16 hours a day, never saw my family, never saw wife, got divorced, never saw the kids very much, remarried, never saw that wife very much. No, and these two kids from this marriage, don't see them a heck of a lot. Well, I didn't anyways. Um, so, it sort of made me think that there was, I wanted to do something where I could be able to spend more time, on personal things. And so I ended up, like I said, starting those coaching programs after all of that time with, like I said, working and everything. I spent, I made a bad investment with a friend, and I ended up losing about $100,000. And then from my first divorce, that was still kind of ongoing, and I lost, due to that, all told, about 400,000. And then I had to pay huge child support after that. Afterwards, I ended up, um, like I said, buying a bunch of coaching programs. All told, I probably spent, a couple of them were big inner circle programs, but I probably spent close to 150,000 on those. And yeah, so basically between the divorce and the bad investment and the coaching programs, I'm left with nothing. And as we speak right now, it's April the 26th of 2023. And unfortunately, me and my two kids were about to lose our house. And I had bought a cottage for rental purposes for Airbnb, but unfortunately, one of the neighbors decided that he didn't like that very much, so he complained about it. And now I've been sitting on a $475,000 cottage that I can't afford to make payments for because I can't rent it out. And unfortunately, we experienced the housing drop right after I purchased it. So because interest rates went up, so now that's a huge problem. So I'm going to take a big loss on that. So yeah, that's where things are at. Very good, happy news. But uh, I guess more so what I've, wanted to document was some of the areas of business that, that I'm starting. Be curious to hear some of your guys' comments on that. Don't bother criticizing me for the money that I've lost. I learned a lot, from the courses themselves, but also, from the sheer stupidity of taking that number of coaching programs. Like I said, I just kind of panicked and, yeah, got addicted to taking programs and thought that would help. I was not a computer guy, before, when this all started. So I just thought more programs I took, the more I would learn. I'm 47 years old, so not well outside of the time where a person would be familiar with computers, but nonetheless still issues around that. So I took programs in Amazon, Etsy, drop shipping, e-commerce type stuff, Airbnb, marketing, sales, MLM, pretty much you name it, and I pretty much got suckered into taking a course for it. But after all of that, I have to say that I do have at least a very, very good understanding of the market and a good basis for, what I'm trying to do here, which is trying to help people potentially start their own online businesses, because that's where I came from. I was, pulling my hair out, which, it's all gone now, but, I was really just panicky, once I lost the medical license, because again, really, I had no other major marketable skills. So at this point, I've got a few things on the go. I do a few MLMs now, one being Snap, and I'll drop some links below to some of these things just if you're interested. But one of them is Snap. It's got a financial arm and it's got a restaurant delivery arm, and then it also we help businesses in the US get the ERC. Also involved in another direct marketing company called Soul Life, and I'm actually the medical advisor for them and also the medical spokesperson. So I'm really trying to, help increase that company. They have amazing products, and we have to get the word out there about them. They actually had on the shelf products before, but switched over to an online model after a few years. Other than that, I'm trying to do some medical writing too, just because, I do have some background obviously in that, and also some business lending and some mindset coaching, because over the time, since I lost my license, I've been forced to figure out a lot of what was going on with my mindset and how I can help other people, improve their mindsets, or if nothing else, at least learn how to, kind of, I guess you could say, maximize the ability that people can do things with. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to kind of documenting the journey here. Other things that I kind of am involved with, I mean, the biggest thing, like I said, is the course creation, but I do love direct marketing, so, I'm involved with that too. And then, yeah, that's pretty much the size of it. So that's where I'm at. Other things that I've kind of been exposed to that had held some interest for me was the exotic car rentals that probably a lot of you have heard about. That, a lot of people will buy exotic cars, especially down in the US, and there's a good rental market for them in the short term. So, that ends up being a decent business. I also took for a bit of marketing stuff, so I'm doing some lead advising and some personal credit repair. So those are basically the things that I will be talking about, just basically documenting my journey through all this stuff and trying to figure out where I can go with it. In the meantime, I'll be really happy to share tips with you guys and basically just share the journey and let you know how things are going, what works for me, what doesn't work for me. And I mean, I appreciate you guys watching, because I know there's 1,000,000,001 people probably doing the same thing on YouTube and Facebook and blogs and pretty much everywhere else you can think of. So if you do get some value from this, or if you find it entertaining to laugh at me as I go through this, whatever you decide is fine. Love for you to like and subscribe. And that's about the size of it. So if you have any tips for me, also feel free to drop them down below, and we will see you guys on the other side. Right now, today, it is 11:45 p.m. Central Time on April the 26th of 2023. Number one. Thanks.